Are you related to Luda?
No, so there was a crossroads where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing, and it had to be one or the other of us, and decisions had to be made. So it was both of us, we were equal. One of us had to cut off all their hair and couldn't do the sideburn thing no more with the points. And the next person they said was going to get $200 million because they were going to pay him $10 million a movie to do 20 movies. And that's how the conversation happened. One of those persons turned out to be Ludacris, and the other person turned out to be Katt Williams. Now, one person ended up with a light-skinned, ugly-faced wife that's never done it. Remember I told you that if I say that, it applied to 7 people?
Yes.
It's part of what they give you. Okay? I didn't get it. I'm not mad about it.
How much money they give? 200?
Sir, Fast and Furious is on what number right
10.
now?
10. I might need to get me.
Okay, in this video, we're going to break down some of the things Katt just illustrated with the whole Illuminati and Luda and whatnot. Some interesting insights that I feel like what we consider conspiracy is starting to be exposed as something more than just that. All right, so stay tuned. This is Unfiltered Vitamin Z being brought to you by Zaid. So the whole Katt, wait, what? So something that I thought was interesting when he was talking about that they had this deal and somebody, was going to get $200 million, $10 million a movie to do 20 movies. Like, how many Fast and Furious movies have they done? The last Fast and Furious movie, I haven't checked online or any comments or anything like that, but I am very curious to see what other people think. I watched it because I've been watching the movie since I was like 5, 6 years old. So I'm checking it out. And the character, whatever the dude's name that was like the Aquaman, was basically like some trans dude. Like his style, his character, doing the fucking nails. He had all these crazy lines. He was being referred to as the devil. That's the crazy shit. He was even talking shit about like, oh, I like talking to the dead bodies with their nails and talking about like, it's just nice to tone down the masculinity once in a while, right? I'm like, you took this big fucking dude and you made him feminine and weird. And the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm like, wait a minute. There's either two things going on. It's either the satanic shit that they like to do out in the open and exposed because that's how they like to do. They like to tell you that they like to tell you what they're doing is bad. Or is this movie's way of showing all the bad trans shit that's going on and that it needs to stop? Because I was like, that's a bad way of doing it. Why not just make a regular dope ass masculine movie with the right characters? I mean, masculinity placed in the right characters. You got this big ass dude painting nails and shit. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So it does seem to correlate with what Katt was saying earlier about with Luda. I'm just surprised it was Luda overall. Maybe because I'm a big fan of hip hop and grew up listening to Luda's music, but these days everybody's surprising me. Everybody's surprised. Like, what the fuck is going on? I think eventually what we'll start to see is, sure, some people will deny certain things, but like, no, what had happened was this and that. But the more people start to go against it, right? The more you start to pull back from it, the more it's starting to look like you got something to hide naturally, right? So a lot of times what I always say is, if what you have is honest and truthful and there's not really anything that you're afraid of getting exposed, you don't mind being clear about it and showing whatever it is you're being accused of. You know what I'm saying? Generally speaking. So what we'll start to see is hopefully better movies, because this last Fast and Furious was shit. Like, it's utterly ridiculous to see exactly what people are talking. And I don't get me wrong, the cars, the action, the women. I think that's why a lot of us love these movies. And they've just gotten weirder and weirder and weirder. And it's starting to get me to the point to start questioning the actors don't know. Like, were you in a contract that you have to make this movie? Because I wouldn't have made that last movie if I would have seen that script and known exactly how they were doing it and positioning this weird ass message. I'd be like, fuck that. So, and on top of that, in terms of making movies, Luda, I guess, wanted more money. Like, you wasn't already decently wealthy. Because I get the people sucking dick in Hollywood because you was broke as shit trying to get a movie deal. That's cool. But if you already had brand, already had leverage, already had money, already had some connections, why sign up to do weird things when you could already just keep working and keep hustling and you would have money. You know what I'm saying? And even more money. Like, is it really worth it if you worth 10 million to do all this dumb shit so you could be worth 50? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's how little of a price you have on your soul and integrity. I don't know. Seems weird to me.